Hi, my name is Fiona Kane from Informed Health. I'm a nutritionist, mind body eating coach, and holistic counsellor. And one of the things I hear a lot from people is they say, "Help, I have no self control around food," or "I can't seem to be disciplined around food." Do you relate to that? I see it a lot. A lot of people say this. And so I've got some tips about that today because it's not completely true, or it's true, but it's true for a reason. So let me explain what I mean. So, firstly, I would say just be aware of the language that we use because when we say that about ourselves, we make it true. So, if we say we're bad at something, or we can't do something, or we don't have something, we're just confirming over and over that we can't, that we don't, So, just be aware that language on its own is quite problematic because that will make it true. But let's explore. Often, what we do is we see the behavior that we have, and it might be that we're emotional or stress eating, or it might be that we're binge eating or eating too much, or whatever we're doing, and we focus really heavily on that behavior or that thing we're doing, and it's, oh, I'm doing this thing wrong and I'm making this mistake, and we really focus hard on the mistake or the wrong thing supposedly. But what we don't do is we don't look at the whole, like our life in its entirety, and see, well, what's going on here. And that is what we do at Informed Health. We kind of look at, okay, well, yeah, you're doing this thing, but generally speaking, our body is wise, and our body is always trying to fix something or correct something or improve something. And if we're behaving in ways that it can't, well, anyway, it's always trying to correct something. It has its wisdom. Let's just say that. I don't want to get too confusing with this. So there's a reason. There's usually a reason. So, for example, if you're really struggling at night and you're craving lots of sweets and you're eating a lot at nighttime, the first question that I would ask you would be, what do you eat during the day? Because often people say, "Oh, I don't seem to be able to control my appetite, and I'm so hungry, I'm ravenous," and they haven't eaten all day, or they haven't eaten nearly enough food all day. All they've had is a couple of lettuce leaves, a little bit of salad or something, and they wonder why they're hungry at night. So sometimes when your body is making you ravenously hungry at night, or kind of encouraging you to eat, it's because it feels like there's a starvation situation happening. Our body does not know there's food available everywhere in this Western world. When we stop eating, our body assumes a certain level of food not being available and the possibility of famine and starvation. So our body will act appropriately, and it kind of goes, "Oh my God, there's food! Wow, go for it!" Because we don't know when the next famine is going to happen, so we better eat all this food. So that is not a lack of discipline or self-control with you. That is simply your body trying to correct something, okay? So you're following me here, that we actually need to eat enough during the day so that our body feels like it is fine at night time. So it doesn't sort of think, "Oh, we're ravenously hungry, I have to eat everything." So sometimes it's like biological things like that. The other biological sorts of issues could be if you're low in magnesium. Magnesium we use to balance our blood sugar levels and control our blood glucose regulation. So when people are low in magnesium, they often have cravings and sugar cravings at night. You might also have cravings at night or during the day or whenever it is because your gut bacteria is out of whack. If you've got the wrong gut bacteria, it will make you crave sugar. So, there are lots of physical reasons why you might be craving food, and none of them are because you don't have enough discipline or control or any of those. There's actually like a physiological reason. And then, of course, there's also emotional reasons why you might be craving food, and why you might be eating more at night. And so the next thing is to look at what is driving that behavior. So one, you look at all the physiological reasons, but then if it's still an issue of those things have been corrected, it's still an issue. It's looking at, well, what's the purpose of the food? And more often than not, if it's not a physiological reason, or if it's not purely a physiological reason, there's something else attached to it, as in it is how you numb yourself, it is how you feel pleasure. If you don't feel pleasure at all in your day and in your life, you're going to look for it somewhere, and it often ends up being food or wine or some other getting addicted to something, or rather gambling, whatever it is. Essentially, we are pleasure seekers, and we deserve to have some pleasure in life. And if you're just running on a treadmill every day, all day, doing a to-do list and doing everything for everybody else, It's not surprising if suddenly you want to get stuck into the chocolate at night or whatever it is, to deal with, to have some pleasure, right? And I'm not saying even that even there's anything wrong with having chocolate. This is about whether or not it's affecting your health in your life. So if you're having some chocolate and if you're having some snacks at night and you're perfectly healthy and you have no issues, it's fine. So this isn't about demonizing eating anything in particular. It's just about looking at, if you feel like it's a problem for you, what could the drivers be? So the other things to look at in regards to that kind of emotional eating, are you eating to deal with stress? Are you eating to numb yourself? Are you eating to get some pleasure because you don't get any pleasure any other time? Or are you eating because you're simply hungry? Because maybe you're not eating enough? Because even just something as simple as people often leave protein out of their meals, and if you don't have protein in your meal, you won't feel full. They also often eat lots of low fat and no fat things, and it's actually fat and protein that help you feel full for longer. So, there's lots of things that could drive this lack of self-control, and none of them are actually a lack of self-control. They are either emotional or biological reasons, physiological reasons why your body is doing this. So if you're having those issues, it is important to look at all of those factors, everything else that goes on in your life and your days, so that you can get an idea of what's going on and why you're having those extra snacks or craving the sugary things or whatever you're doing, whether it's at night or whatever it is. But it's often at night, just because that's the end of the day, that's when we have time to do it, and that's when the day catches up with us, or we kind of want to unwind and we eat certain things or drink or whatever it is to unwind because we feel really wound up, because life can be really stressful, right? So I just want you to be aware of this, that you don't have a problem with self-control or discipline. There is something else going on, and that's exactly what we can help you with. For starters, we cover this in our Stress Less program, so if you want to do it as a group program, it begins on Monday. It's only $97, that's Australian dollars, so if anyone overseas, that's nothing. if you're in the US, 97 Australian dollars is nothing for you, and it's relatively cheap. Well, it is. I think it's pretty cheap anyway, for 6 weeks of access to me, where I'm going to provide you lots of strategies around all of these things, and many things relating to stress and relating to energy and overwhelm. So essentially the Stress Less program is to help you re-look at mood and food, so food that you need to eat to balance your blood sugar levels, to maintain a healthy mood and energy, to deal with stress. But we also teach you loads of stress management issues that can be about relationships or about energy, relationship with yourself. It can be about language, the stories we tell ourselves. It's a whole lot of stuff. We do it over 6 weeks. I love doing this program. I really, really enjoy it. And you get the benefit of myself and Rebecca, the other nutritionist in this program, to support you along the way. And it's a group program in a private Facebook group. Otherwise, we do this for one-to-ones as well. So if you just prefer an appointment for yourself. And I've actually started seeing clients physically, like as in person again, at my Kermond clinic. For those of you who can get to the Hawkesbury, I have started that again now as well. So anyway, these are all things we can help you with. The main thing is that you know that you don't have a problem with discipline or self-control. You are not fatally flawed. There's not something terribly wrong with you. There is a reason. There's always a reason for what we do, and there's usually a good reason for it. And our job is to help you explore what that is and help you correct it if it's causing you problems, if it's something that's causing you health problems. Okay, so I hope that you found that useful, and our Stress Less program starts on Monday. It only runs every sort of 3 months, so if you don't do this one, you'll miss out until next time. I've popped the link in above. I would love to see you in our Stress Less program to really help you with it. This is stuff we do quite deep dives in our Stress Less program, and if you need personal one-to-one, we can do that as well. So nothing wrong with you. You just need to help to figure out what's going on and to correct it, and you will be fine. So hope that was really useful for you. If you have any questions, pop them below, and looking forward to seeing many of you in our Stress Less program, which begins on Monday. Thanks. Have a great weekend. Bye.